Yes, real shit only. Let me talk to these niggas, Zeke.
If you a rapper, right? Because that just made me think about something. If you a rapper and you had some success, when shit start to slow up and it shit just ain't, or you can't recreate something that you once had and you're trying to find that motion again and you can't find it, and then like you said, you throwing shit up, nothing is sticking. What you like? Do you? I can like. Do niggas just go get like? What do niggas? Like, can you go get a job, a 9 to 5? How do niggas like? I literally be wondering what niggas be thinking when they've had some success. Go back to hustling. What do? You find little pockets. Niggas go get their CDLs. Like, what do rappers do, or entertainers do? Even athletes. If you've been in the public eye, what do you like? How do you?
I think if you're responsible, eventually it's gonna come down to working, right? Because
But shit, that's hard though. You can't just show up at Amazon warehouse if you had a gold record. That's
you
a hump.
can't. And I would hope that you have made some friends in the industry that you in, because more than likely that's where you should be working.
Do you
right?
think this a real thing though? People face with this type of shit?
Hell yeah, I talk to people like that.
I mean,
But I
like-
also talk to rappers who fake weight popping that got jobs now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like they got
right.
9 to 5s now.
Funding that shit.
Funding their career and trying to make it, but they have a 9 to 5 now. And I think it's almost the difference what we was talking about with Anthony Presents is that if you have a job now and you working through it, you probably in that new generation.
Right.
But back in the day, if a nigga decided he was gonna be a rapper, he was a rapper. I ain't working no job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to risk it all, do whatever, but I'm not working no job. But that's a good question.
Because
you
they
asked.
because they used to sell it to you that you had to spend 24 hours in the studio writing in order to be successful.
Right,
You got to
right.
fund your career.
You gotta live.
You gotta
if you had a
live.
child, you gotta feed it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that you have to do in life that it's like,
Your kids can't eat your dreams.
your kids can't eat your
in the
dream.
beginning. If they pan out, maybe. But if not, but I be always wondering, like, you know what I'm saying, niggas, what's some occupations, and I hope people tap in with us, but what's some things that you can see a artist or somebody who was in the public eye had some success, what could they transition to?
Everything that's natural is music shit to me. So like an A&R, right? Starting a label,
Right.
working at a label, whatever that job may be. But it's always that. But if
right.
you like gonna go work in public for the public, like you
Right.
saying Amazon, because you work for the public.
Right.
It's just crazy. Like
You know, it's gonna be. Yeah,
it's wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of more private industries, but like somebody, Gigi McGuire was just on Angela Yee lip service saying that during the pandemic, she went back to stripping. She also drove Uber, and she tried to drive Uber Black because she had a nice car, a Jag, and she thought
Right.
that it would get her more money.
Right.
But they wouldn't accept her for Uber Black.
I be hearing people say that, but I think that's harder for a lot of people to do than you ever get in an Uber. You ever get in an Uber, right? And the Uber driver, as soon as you get in that motherfucker, the Uber driver start talking to you about everything else they got going on. They be like, "No, I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm such and such, but I just, I do this part." So they won't let you. Sometimes I be thinking people feel like because they driving for Uber, you judge them. That's a job. If Uber was around when I was in high school, shit, all that Instacart, Uber, DoorDash, all that shit.
Any of
all
that shit was
around.
around when I was in the streets.
Nigga, just for sneaker money,
Bruh.
nigga would have did that shit.
Bruh, ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what I'm trying to say. But then there's the Indian guy who drives Uber all day
And don't give a fuck.
does Amazon a little bit,
Right.
and has the fattest house on the block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
on.
worried about the wrong shit.
You worried about the wrong shit. You worried about the wrong shit. You're making money.
You're making money, bro.
Right.
It don't matter. So, like,
That be pride too, though.
it does a lot.
Kind of getting in the way.
I think they're
I'd be curious because how many artists that you know are still can live off their catalog.
not a lot. And the pride kicks in when you doing a servicing job.
Right.
when it involves service.
Right.
Right. If you was in the office, you'd be like, oh, I work for this Fortune 500 company. I used to be the biggest rapper, but now
Or you could be off the radar a little bit.
Off the radar.
Sometimes every now and then I get niggas hit me like niggas who had records out hit me like, hey, I want to be a barber.
Right,
I might get my barber license. I could,
but
be trying to find
being, and I don't know, bro.
Some cool shit.
To be honest with you, just thinking off the top of my head, being a barber might be cooler.
Niggas be trying to figure out some shit like
right, because it's like, oh, I'm just cutting hair, nigga.
Right.
Yeah. But if driving Uber is not a bad thing. I don't know.
No type of income is a bad thing. But I think we saying this to say I think it's a humbling experience for somebody who has been in the. Say you just been in the public eye. Say you're a person that has made hundreds of millions of dollars and you lost it all, and you're trying to resurface. Like how? Like you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you. And depending on how you treated people when you was coming up.
Right.
Because that shit can be a like very humbling experience. Like
that matters.
I wanted to talk about, and before we go any further, I wanted to send a prayer up and love to the people in LA and what's going on in the LA fires, the Palisades fire, the Altadena. I can't name them all, but like those are something just stuck out to me.
Right.
People are losing their homes, losing everything they worked for, everything they built. Right. Mostly just want to send prayers out, right? But I saw some interesting stuff that I didn't know about a family that owns all of the water, well, basically the public water. In California. And it took a tragedy like this for me to be even informed on this. Pisses me off, right? One, for myself that I didn't do the research, but I shouldn't have to do the research to know that our public water is owned by a private company.
What's the name of that company?
You know, Ken, what's the name of that company? I know the name of the family was something Resnick. Resnick is the family that owns it, right? A husband and wife, and they grew all the pistachios.
That's good knowledge.
They grow all the pistachios.
Farmers,
right? Started off in, I believe, Madeira, and they started off with that public water company, grabbed a lot of it, and somehow eventually wiggled into like privately owning the water in California. And again, I wouldn't know about it if people wasn't losing their whole.
I'm assuming they are behind the transport of the water, how the water gets from one place.
And the storing of water also, right? So when we have in California, we always in drought, right? And so when we do have an overflow or excess rainwater, they store it,
right?
And so they own that. The wonderful company. So that's that pistachio, that black and green bag of pistachios, the palm juice from the pomegranate juice, Fiji water.
Because if you ever ride through the Central Valley and you ride through Tracy and you see the California aqueduct right there, that water that flows through the aqueduct, well, we just look at it. That's typically LA's drinking water from what it flows all the way from there. So that's why I say they must control.
Yeah.
Water getting from one.
They control all of that.
That's crazy.
And in a tragedy, we actually getting educated on it. Right. You know what I mean?
This is shit I didn't. I'm still trying to figure out how do we have fires in the heart of winter. You know what I'm
saying? That's wild. And I was thinking about that family because becoming a firefighter, like, right, not all heroes wear capes. Mm-hmm. And firefighters are heroes, man. Straight the fuck up. It ain't no way around it. Straight fucking heroes.
You risking your life.
Superheroes, right? And for them to pull up to a fire hydrant and have to explain to the people that the fire hydrants are empty, that's crazy, bro. Right. Like, I just... Like, I wouldn't have never thought that was a thing, right? So for the fire hydrants being
that's
empty.
actually a thing. Now, mind you, excuse me. Part of my ignorance. I've been.
Nobody knows. It ain't just you.
I've been off the grid. I even took a, you know what I'm saying, small social media hiatus and been trying to like just really lock in for the new year. So I haven't seen a lot of the stories, but I do know that the fires is happening. I've talked to friends who are, you know what I'm saying, who have properties down there near the Palisades. And so I see what's going on, but the details and the things you're talking about right now with the water, these are things that I didn't know.
But it's not just because you're not on social media, bro.
Okay.
None of us know.
Right.
Like we're like come on, bro. Like you think over all of this time that somebody privately owns the water that should be public, that California, out of all places, wouldn't be in an uproar about it?
But
because they had a secret meeting. So this wasn't a vote. This wasn't a voting
but
thing.
we talking conspiracy theory? Or
No. This is a fact.
Okay.
So they got together in a secret meeting and was able to give the power of this water to a private family, right? A company, right? And so my thing is, none of us knew, Blends. It's not that just you wasn't on social media.
Right.
They just kept us in the blind about this. Like this wasn't a voting situation. This is something that they just went and did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when I look at that alone, just not being able to get water out of the fire hydrants, this shit is like disgusting, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, come on now, like, and I hate to be the conspiracy theorist guy, but it always leads me to believe, what is the ultimate goal?
Right.
Like when they do shit like that, what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
I'm always there. Like, okay, cool. You might even did that on a mistake, but what were you trying to do when you was doing that? I'm always curious of what was you trying to do?
Right. So where are we at with are we like, what percentage of containment are we with the fires?
Earlier what I heard, it was at 8.
8 or 80?
8.
Oh, so it's still
it's burning. And now it's switching directions. One was at 3%. You know what I'm saying? And Blends is switching directions. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just like, oh, now it's going like, whoa, like it's out of control. Like when I see those beachfront homes and then somebody puts a picture up in comparison to it and it's naked, I'm like, what the fuck? Insurance is canceling on people in the middle of a fire.
How's that legal?
I think if we really figured it out, they'd come get us. Like, I think if we really figure it out, they gonna come take us out, bro.
This shit is crazy.
It's crazy, bro. And so, like, what I want to say overall is, because me or you or the regular citizens in the fire or outside of the fire that want to help, since we don't have no control of it, I think all we could do is like have faith. Right. You know what I mean? And say it's gonna get better. I just hate to think that it's evil people in the world.
Right.
That just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that's just the thing that hurts a lot. Like, for people to know they have the power to help and just don't is like, that's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I hate to even think about it. You know what I mean? Like, because there's nobody in the world, there's no human beings, right?
Right.
That if they're burning and their things are burning, that I wouldn't help.
Right.
Me, and I'm just speaking personally. There's no set of humans that I wouldn't help.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's a fact.
So I just, like, when stuff like that happens, or not to go off subject, when we talk about the healthcare situation and the CEO dying, me being a billionaire, leave it up to me. We're going to approve all of these people for their claims.
Right.
But I don't know if you become a billionaire that way. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's going somewhere else, but it's the same thing. It's just like, for whoever's listening to us in bars, please have a little bit of human compassion. You know what I'm saying? On whatever side you on.
But regardless, and like, you hear I've been hearing the chatter and people talking about, and a friend of mine, Monique Nichols, she posted about this on Facebook, and I felt it. Like, it was everybody talking about insurance. They rich, they can afford it. These is rich. Man, people have things that are non-fungible. Like, people have things that you can't replace. Like, there's only one. It's one of one. It has like sentimental value to it. Some people have. There was this one dude I seen on the news who talked about how he spent his life savings just to buy a condo in that area. He always was his dream. Like everything ain't. Everybody always talking about insurance money. Like everything can't be replaced. If you got an old school, if you had a 71 Chevelle drop and it was your favorite thing, custom from the ground, and
I seen those
the
burning
motherfucker
too.
burnt up, like insurance will, like what they can't, they not gonna give you the value
You're
of
not
what
gonna get that car back.
you can't even like put that in the like what's the number, like you put more into it, means more to you than that. You know what I'm saying? Like just
I
this
saw
shit,
a grown man
this shit
crying over his
crazy, bro.
Chevelle. It's crazy you say that, bro. He
Yeah.
had 3 old schools there. He couldn't believe it. It was just like, I gotta watch my babies burn.
Right.
And that's tight you said that, bro. Like I like what you just said, because like you putting a price and you putting money on people that they not even claiming. Right? So you don't know if somebody is bankrupt living in that area. You don't know if somebody's mom has a cancerous disease that they, even with hundreds of thousands, possibly millions, they still can't afford to pay for.
Right.
You don't know people's circumstance.
Right.
Stop saying people rich.
But people act like because you have enough money, because you have money, or if you are rich, you have money to buy a lot of shit, that you don't have anything that's irreplaceable.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like I don't have any. Like
That's
you could have a T-shirt. I got a shirt. My daughter's always. I bought this shirt from Walmart probably 9 years ago, and I still have it. It's not the best thing to look at, but it feels so good on my
You love
skin.
that shirt, right?
I love that motherfucker, bro. I have had this shirt for almost a decade now, bro, and I will not let nothing happen to this shirt. Nothing happened to this shirt, bro. And it's, to me, I even tried to go back to Walmart recently to see if they make more of it. I tried to look up the tag. I can't find the shirt. The shirt just means something to me. I just like the shirt. Like I can't. If I lost it, I would be irritated. Like people can't understand. Like sometimes everything ain't replaceable, bro.
Everything
like,
ain't
can't
replaceable.
place everything,
And my
buddy.
story ain't yours.
These are people's
Your
homes,
story
bro.
ain't the next person.
Rad, but people got pictures, photos,
Family heirlooms.
shit that's been in people's family for years, burnt down. Like this is your home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about right now?
That shit just so
Somebody
selfish and inconsiderate,
talking about
bro.
insurance. Like, all right, bet. Build a new home. What the fuck? Huh? You
And
can't rebuild the character that we have in the spot we've been living in for 20 years.
You can't rebuild that. You can't rebuild in this corner of the house. Remember when this happened?
Right.
There's no rebuilding that memory, bro.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I think people need to learn to show some compassion. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, but you know, wealthy people get the least amount of compassion
That's crazy.
because when you have wealth, to the people that don't have wealth, they look at wealth like you don't have problems.
Do people ever think about this? For all the wealth that those people have that you talking about, what are the things they don't have? Do you ever consider, like, what do they don't? What if they don't have the daughter that they always wanted?
Well, if I have $1 billion if I have $1 million to my name and you have $100 to your name, my problems may not be your problems, but my problems are still my problems. You know what I'm saying?
They're not going away.
It doesn't mean that they're not a problem.
Facts.
And then there's things that can affect all of us. You talk about health, right? Health don't care about, like, there's certain things you can get better treatment for, maybe, possibly, but money has never proven to be the cure for health issues.
Ever.
Steve Jobs died with a ton of money. We all got to check out of here. So these are the things that I don't be understanding, like, that, I don't know. Let's just start showing more compassion for people, man.
That's a fact.
You know
And that's
what I
a
mean?
bar, too. Please start showing more compassion. I something for me and you being from the town and still trying to support the Raiders, thinking we was going to get Shador. How you feel about that? The firing of Antonio Pierce.
I still be feeling aftershocks from when Jamarcus Russell when we drafted Jamarcus Russell. So I'm past thinking that one person is gonna be the savior of the Oakland Raiders. I still call them the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, whatever. But I think if you're a Raider fan and you still getting excited about the draft, I don't know, I think you might be a little bit delusional. I think we passed that because like when I look around the league and I start looking at the franchises that have turned it around, it's never. I feel like rarely do you see the change come from an individual guy. But if you look at the front office, you start to see. You can always notice that upstairs things change, and then it translated to the field.
You've been on the phone with Tom Brady, nigga. Just go on and say it.
I do got some shit I need to talk to Tom about. And so I think the change starts there. So once you change there, I think it's a domino effect. Obviously, to win games, you need talent, but the Raiders have a culture issue. They have spent 20 plus years of losing. That's a cultural.
How many coaches? How many coaches, kid?
Coach after coach
12?
after coach after coach after coach, player after player, draft after draft, draft after draft. It don't start there. You need a culture shift. So until things change up top, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I don't know if Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't run his house too. No, let me leave that out. Look, I don't know if Tom Brady is the sole answer from that. I don't know, whatever role he's playing, I don't know if he's an answer. I think you might have to make a change when you start talking, from that ownership spot. I don't know. I think.
You think it's that deep?
I think it's that deep, bro. I think
we missing Al Davis?
I don't think because I think until you get a new ownership group for the Raiders, total different ownership group. I think as long as you have the Davis name there, I think it just carries on the bad juju that.
Does that what you saying apply to the Cowboys? Because they ain't had a winning season since. I mean, not a winning season, but they've been weak just as long as us.
Right.
So
I think some of the ideas from the '80s is still in the early '90s is still trickling down today with Jerry Jones.
Because I be feeling like the Cowboys and the Raiders got the same issues.
I do think the Cowboys to me are always been the Raiders of the NFC. I think it's trickling down. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's trickling down. And both franchises have done some great things over the years, but I do think sometimes you have to have like idealistically, you got to change some of your ideologies and your things, the ways you go about your business. And I just think what I see from the Raiders is more of the same. No consistency. For some reason, when players show up to that facility or to come play there, I feel like it's they like, okay, it's like chill time now. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel you don't see the same sense of urgency that you see around. I mean, you 20-something years of losing, but look, when you look around the league, majority of the franchises that have turned around. Okay, obviously sometimes you can get a quarterback. That's a great quarterback. Pat Mahomes is a great quarterback, right? Who has led them into like a lot of Super Bowls and a lot of winning. But I still think it all starts at the top. I'm positive that every team that transitions from losing to winning, I feel like it starts in the front office.
That's a fact.
So, and the Raiders haven't done anything. They haven't done anything great. When they start making great moves there, maybe Tom Brady is the start. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe he's the start of them like trying to change the culture. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I be feeling like, man, the owner you gotta get out the way.
You gotta get out the way.
You gotta get out the way and just let the football people do the football shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And let the business people. And one thing that the Raiders don't have great in our favor, I don't know how much of a real business. I don't know Mark Davis, but I don't know his business resume. I don't know. Is he respected as a businessman? I don't know.
His dad been said.
So if you're not a football guy, and then you don't have a history of being a great businessman.
Yeah,
I don't know how this thing is supposed
Tom,
to.
save us, Tom.
I don't know how. I'm trying to figure. I don't know how this thing is supposed to figure it. Like how it's supposed to work.
Save us.
So you gotta bring in the people that do. You know what I mean?
We gotta have a recommitment, not a commitment.
Right.
We gotta have a
Recommitment to excellence.
You niggas run the IG for inspiration, cause your immediate circle ain't good for shit but hating. How you hustling just to get complacent? We never settle, run these bitches then we pick replacements. About my money, niggas more concerned with getting famous and putting fake jewelry on layaway and missing payments.